Hello calculus class. This is the second video for chapter 4, section 3. Yeah, section 3. We're talking about, what we talked about in the first video is the composite function, when you have f of g of x. And what we're going to talk about now is taking the derivative of that type of function. So we are looking at, again, f of g of x, this equation. So we're trying to take the derivative of y. That's what dy over dx represents. So when you have a composite function, you're really dealing with two functions. You've got function f, we'll call the outside function, and you got function g, which is the inside function. So the chain rule is the name of the rule to take the derivative of a composite function. So what we do, we take the derivative of the outside function. So that's the f prime that you're seeing right here, but you're keeping that inside function the same. And then you multiply by the derivative of the inside function. Okay, that's the g prime. So let me go through this. Okay, that's the chain rule, is that formula right there. And it's a lot easier than it looks and sounds, but derivative of the outside times the derivative of the inside. So let's do an example of this. All right, so find the derivative. We're looking at this first equation. I'm sliding around here. The outside function is this x to the 8th. It's that parenthesis to the 8th power. So we're going to take the derivative of that function. So dy over dx equals. I suppose what we could do is just kind of spell this thing out like we talked about with the composite functions. We have f of x, that is x to the 8th. And then we have the inside function, g of x, which is that x squared plus 5x. So according to the chain rule, looked at in the last slide, you take the derivative of the outside function. That's function f. So that exponent of 8 gets multiplied out in front. You keep the inside function the same. And then we had to decrease, we're taking the derivative of this x to the 8th, so we decrease that exponent by 1. Okay, that's the derivative of the outside part. Then we multiply by g prime, which is the derivative of the inside function. So the derivative of x squared plus 5x is 2x plus 5. And that's it. That's the chain rule. Derivative of the outside, which was the derivative of f. We kept the g of x the same on the inside of that. And then we multiplied that thing by the derivative of the inside function, so the g prime. From here, just like with the product rule and quotient rule, there's a little bit of simplifying to do. This is all multiplication here. This is 8 times x squared plus 5x to the 7th power times 2x plus 5. So I'm going to distribute the 8 into this one. So what we get is 16x plus 40. That is being multiplied by x squared plus 5x to the 7th. And that's all we need to do. There's nothing else we can do. We would have to take care of that exponent of 7 before we could do any kind of foiling, and I don't want to do anything to the 7th power. So that's it. That's our derivative of function y. All right. Looking at this next example, just like we did with the power rule, we have a square root. I'm going to rewrite this. This is 6x minus 4 raised to the 1/2 power. All right. So what we're looking at, our composite function, f of x is a quantity raised to the 1/2 power. Our inside function, g of x, is the 6x minus 4. So to take the derivative, dy over dx, we do the derivative of the outside function. That's the f of x. So we multiply the 1/2 out in front. The inside function is staying the same. Then we decrease that exponent by 1. Then we multiply by the derivative of the inside function. So the derivative of g of x is 6. Okay, so now, again, it's all multiplication here. So 1/2 times 6 is 3. We'll go step by step to the negative 1/2. Now we got to take care of that negative exponent. So we have 3 times 1 over 6x minus 4. That's to the 1/2 power. And what we get is 3 over, the 1/2 power is a square root. So square root of 6x minus 4. And that's our derivative. That's dy over dx. Okay, this is just some basic examples of chain rule. They do get a little bit more complicated, but we'll just work through them. This is just the basics to show you what the chain rule is and how it works. The next video, talk about a couple more of the more intricate examples, and just there's a little bit more that goes with it. It's really just simplifying that's any different. That's all.